but these two are among my most cherished human beings. You are all aware of Amy Robach and her husband, Andrew Shue, who is also a very, very close friend. If you've been watching our films, you've probably already seen the one about TJ Holmes' terribly disorganized dating life. Many of you wanted to know more about his girlfriend and co-host on GMA3, Amy Robach. And, we had to support our three closest friends. Amy's love life has unsurprisingly been a heated, smelly mess, and we are confident that you are all eager to learn every delicious detail. However, Amy, who was then 19 years old, first encountered Tim McIntosh while working in a department shop during her first year of college at the University of Georgia. Everyone adored Tim because he was charismatic and well-liked. He showed interest in Amy, which surprised her. Knowing that a guy like Tim wanted to date a girl like her gave her more self-assurance. Amy asked him if he wanted to see other people after 4 months of dating since she could see he wasn't really into her. Tim relocated to Georgia to work as a landscape architect, while Amy took a job in South Carolina to start a broadcast journalism career before she left. Amy answered yes when Tim proposed, but she quickly came to regret her choice. Their relationship suffered because of the distance, and she came to the conclusion that she didn't have a strong love for him. She made repeated attempts to stop their relationship, but they ultimately reconciled since she didn't want to be with him but found it equally harder to go. She claimed in her autobiography that while living in South Carolina, she met a second man, with whom she had an emotional affair because of her affections for the first man. Tim was broken up with once more, but he wasn't going anywhere that quickly. As their August 1996 wedding date drew nearer, she accepted, and they continued their relationship and wedding preparations despite her beginning to feel physically ill. She had fantasies of escaping to Mexico and beginning over on her own. She informed her mother that she couldn't go through with the ceremony the night before. "You're heading down that aisle," her mother said. "Later, you can have it nullified." Amy consequently got married to a man she wasn't even in love with. She was aware that Tim wasn't her soulmate, yet they continued to be together and welcomed 2 kids in 2008. It was the end of that because she and Tim decided they needed to find true love with other people. She and Tim didn't begin dating anybody else until 2009, 3 weeks after Amy was introduced to the man who would become her second husband, actor, father of 3, and former LA Galaxy soccer player Andrew Shue. He had already met his future wife. It was all set. Amy discovered that Andrew was also in the process of finalizing his divorce. Additionally, he was done with Hollywood and co-founded Cafe Mom and Online Community for Mothers, a digital media business. They exchanged numbers and met up for coffee dates and jogging dates in Central Park, but she wasn't able to tell if he was looking for something serious or simply buddies. After a few weeks, he stepped up the ante by penning her poetry. Although it was a kind gesture, Amy claimed that she became overwhelmed and began to back off. She even informed Andrew that she needed some time alone with him so that she could miss him occasionally. She chose to dump Andrew because he was fully committed. She claimed in her autobiography that she spoke with her therapist about how I feel like I'm going to throw up. She remarked, "I think I'm having trouble breathing." She identified as a commitment phobe at this time. She came to the realization that she was ill-equipped to handle the deep emotions that accompanied love and to embrace it. "If you really, genuinely love someone, you can get harmed," she would constantly reassure herself. Her therapist had to persuade her to give Andrew a chance, and her mother had to encourage her to marry him. In all cases, Amy disregarded her emotions and continued with relationships she was unsure of. Around the same time in the summer of 2009, Amy and Andrew divorced. "We got engaged after 5 months, and we were married after 10. She moved her 2 girls, together with Andrew and his 3 sons, to a suburb of Princeton, New Jersey, leaving the city behind. About 2 months passed during the honeymoon phase. In her autobiography, Amy acknowledged feeling trapped in the suburbs with their 5 children. She commuted an hour and a half into the city each morning, which didn't help. She claimed that she had considered how getting married was a mistake on more than one occasion. "Oh, my God, what have I done?" She needed a change after 2 years of blissful or miserable marriage. While Andrew stayed behind in New Jersey with his sons so they could remain close to their school, she moved into a penthouse in Manhattan with her girls. Andrew would stay with Amy in Manhattan during the weeks that his sons were with their mother. After 3 months of their new living arrangements working out well, Andrew's ex-wife made the decision to relocate to San Francisco and requested full custody of the youngest child they had together. In the end, they decided that the youngest son would live with Andrew for 1 year and his mother for the next year. Additionally, the 2 oldest children would be sent to a boarding school. Left to deal with his feelings because she was frequently on the road due to her profession as a TV correspondent. Amy acknowledged that she was of little assistance because she had never lost a loved one and had no idea how to console her husband. She was then requested to have a live-on-air mammography, and stage 2 breast cancer was revealed by the tests. She had a double mastectomy, numerous rounds of chemotherapy, and reconstruction surgery with Andrew by her side. She would help her mother with the kids while Andrew ran out to get her medicines. According to insiders, TJ and Natasha would talk to Amy about their affair and even seek her counsel. TJ's extramarital relationship ended in 2019 and he apparently wanted to reconcile with Marilee. Even Amy's marriage served as some inspiration for him. TJ introduced Amy and Andrew as they appeared on ABC News in October 2021 to promote their new picture book, Better Together. In front of the camera, Jake continued to call Amy and Andrew's union, quote, a love story like no other. It's really odd. It feels like I see you all the time. Anyway, Mama, it's great to have you here in the studio. I also want to express my pride in you guys. This program is fantastic. TJ and Amy formed a running partnership and began preparing for the New York City Half Marathon in March 2022. They were joined in the race by Andrew. Conflicting timelines make it difficult to determine when TJ and Amy's relationship transitioned from one of friendship to one of rock and pounding the boots. According to a source who spoke to People magazine, TJ and Amy divorced their husbands in August 2022, but they didn't start dating until after that. A source told the publication, TJ was incredibly supportive and there for Amy as she was going through a difficult time. They began something at that point. Amy and Andrew officially listed their West Village condo for sale in September 2022, according to People magazine. That suggests that they were indeed getting ready to part ways. Although Marilee and TJ were no longer dating, they spent his birthday on August 2022 together in the Bahamas, and Marilee apparently thought they were trying to patch things up. She was apparently taken by surprise when she learned of TJ and Amy's liaison. Although they initially managed to dodge network punishment, they were removed from the air while management looked into the matter. Due to all the criticism they received, Amy and TJ also deleted their Instagram accounts. In Andrew's case, he removed all of Amy's images from his account. Based on the previous marriages of TJ and Amy, nobody anticipates them to take off into the distance and lead contented lives. We'll be keeping an eye on this hot, stinkin' miss romance as events develop, though.